Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up. Check out these headlines here. The 5-day countdown is on for the Clarity Act. We're going to give you the latest on it. And Ripple, and the oldest bank in America, the oldest bank in America, and Ripple secures another license in the UK this time. We got all that and more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro. Right now, $3.18 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off 0.1%. Right now, 90,500 plus for Bitcoin, 3,000 plus for Ethereum. XRP number 4 spot is 209. Now we're off 0.4 in the 24. We're still up 4.6 on the 7-day. Now let's just very quickly look at this because we're at 127 billion market cap plus. BNB's 124 billion. So it looks like market doesn't move much. We're going to be looking at flipping back and forth between that number 5, number 4 spot. Just giving a heads up on that so you see it coming. We are 5 days out from the legislation, so we'll get more into that in a second. But right now we're ranging between 208 and 216. We'll keep an eye on it. What I want to show you this morning is simply this. It's the Gulf of America, ladies and gentlemen. And I tell you, I've told you before, I'm looking at property down here for my family, and I love it. I went down for the first time ever, took the family there for a vacation. The most beautiful beaches and the clear blue-green water. Where is it? It's in Destin, Florida, right off of 30A. It's the Emerald Coast, they call it. The Redneck Riviera, ladies and gentlemen. It is the panhandle of Florida. And I tell you what, it is some of the most beautiful, beautiful beaches and water I've ever seen in my life. And you can get that island water feel and vibe and never leave the continental United States. It's the best kept secret I've ever seen. So if you like boating or you like kayaking or sailing or whatever it is, and you're someone who loves the beach and the water and everything around it, look at these beautiful homes. Now, some of these homes here, obviously single family, right on the beach, most of them, 2 million to 4 million plus. And that is a gorgeous property right there. And I could take you inside all of these. We don't have time to do it. But what I am going to tell you to do is go to gulfofamericaxrp.com and sign up on the mailing list. Ask for Daniel, and he will get you whatever you need, and he will tailor the mailing list to your needs. Remember, they have condos too. They can get you in the 200,000 range. So they have every kind of property you could want to suit your family and your lifestyle. So don't mess around and click the link underneath the video. Let's start right here. You got till January 26th to vote if you were a part of the link to bankruptcy in any way. And I'm going to share with you now, and it is not financial advice. I've been asked quite a bit what I plan on doing. So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. This is not a recommendation. This is not me telling you what to do. But on the matters of voting, I will say, first of all, you need your unique identifier ID number for the e-ballot. And you should be able to look through your email between December 16th and December 24th, right in that time frame, give or take. You could open it up to search a little bit. And you're looking for something that says balloting in a search or link to balloting or ballot. And then you could also search Class 4, Class 8, and Class 9, the different areas we get to vote on. I'm telling you that I'm voting for the plan for Class 4, Class 8, and Class 9, the same plan. I'm going to ask you the same question 3 times. I vote for the plan, and then I'm also voting for 100% liquidation trust for my assets in the portfolio. That's what I want for myself. I'm also not checking the box to let the third party off the chain for all of this stuff that went on. So I'm not doing that either. So those are the things I'm doing. I'm not telling you what to do, but I know there's been a lot of confusion, and it is something we went over for the people in my private group. But I do want to tell you what I'm doing because I've been asked so many times. So that's what I'm doing on the matter. Make sure you do vote, because if you don't vote, you're going to be pushed into a scenario that you may not be happy about. So make sure you get that taken care of before January 26th. Meanwhile, I'm going to show you some incredible information today. And look, we've been partnered with BNY Mellon for a long time, but partners with BNY Mellon launched tokenized deposit services for institutional clients. Now, we'll get more into this in a second, but this is what the Bitcoin crowd's calling all of us.
Yes, which is why XRP is for retards, and it is retarded. And it is causing retardation, actually, of Bitcoin adoption. Now, it's hard. Yes.
That's what you're dealing with out here. And this is why, really, truthfully, this is why we need the Clarity Act. That we can find out who the real idiot is here, right? And I think we're looking at it. So let's just get that. And a lot of this maxi business falls right off into the gutter where it belongs. The trash will take itself out. We see that. And it's in the process of doing it now. But you know what? Here's Brad Garlinghouse to set the record straight. He's not name calling. No. He's sitting here telling everybody that we still don't have a global consensus. Take a listen.
You're demonstrating that we don't have a global consensus about crypto. Even in this conversation, and I agree that it still is early, partly because there is not a global consensus about some of these things.
I agree.
And I think some of the use cases, we're still extremely early in terms of scaled use cases. Circle is certainly one example that has started to have a scaled use case around a stablecoin. But I think the crypto industry, I agree, the next 16 years, I think will be better than the last 16 years because you'll finally see applications emerging that up until now have just been the store of value story or speculation.
I don't think you can say it any better than that. And that's another reason we need the Clarity Act. Or how about this? When Charles Hoskinson highlighted how hard Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, was working to get legislation done for the entire digital asset space, including that guy that's calling all of us names. Take a listen.
I think the hardest working person on the Clarity Act was Brad. He was in DC pretty much every day, talking to people every day, even with the president, doing all kinds of things. I keep running into him. I say, hey.
We're talking about Brad Garlinghouse, correct? For clarity.
Yes, that's correct.
And there you go. He worked harder than anybody else in there. And now we're at that moment. And what do we see? I see some global cooperation starting to come together, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Ripple's received registration approval from the UK Financial Conduct Authority. Come on in. Yeah. Our FCA approval underscores Ripple's deep and ongoing commitment to the UK. Ripple is ready to help UK institutions seize the huge opportunity presented by blockchain, driving efficiencies, lowering cost, and reinforcing the UK status as the leading global innovation hub. They are a huge financial hub. Listen to Cassie Craddock here from Ripple.
The UK's reputation for financial integrity and innovation makes it an ideal market for responsible digital asset adoption. And today, I'm proud to announce a major regulatory milestone. Ripple has secured its electronic money institution license and crypto asset registration from the UK's Financial Conduct Authority. This is a major step forward for regulated digital asset here in the United Kingdom. And crucially, this license enables us to bring our flagship offerings, including Ripple payments, directly to UK institutions. The UK is already one of Ripple's largest office hubs outside the US, a clear reflection of our continuous investment in the region's talent and infrastructure. And now with this license, we can lean into the market even more.
There you have it right there. And it doesn't stop there. We need to see what everybody's saying about it. Reese Merrick, the Senior Executive Managing Director of Middle East and Africa at Ripple, says, as a Brit, it's huge news today. It feels absolutely brilliant to see Ripple officially secure its approval from the Financial Conduct Authority. Securing the green light from the FCA is no small feat. The FCA are widely regarded as one of the most respected regulators in the world. The future of digital payments in the UK is looking very bright. And then we see Monica Long chime in. Pumped to serve UK businesses' digital assets needs with our regulated E2E infrastructure. This means that once UK businesses on board with us, we can handle moving trading on-off ramping digital assets for them around the world. I love it. Love it. And I remind everybody of Ashish Birla right here in Evernorth. XRP is built for real-time regulated payments, not just investment narratives like Bitcoin, and not congested heavy smart contract ecosystems like Ethereum.
Why XRP? What was the goal here?
Well, one, I'm definitely familiar with XRP, but, it's been, the backbone of a lot of the products that I've built in the past. Hey, listen, like a lot of the first properties that you heard of around XRP, it's fast. It's built for payments.
Right.
It's got a liquidity engine built into it via a decentralized exchange. By the way, this was 2012. Now you're seeing copycats, 15 years later. The XRP was built for institutional grade products, for real utility. You need more than a digital asset to make it work for the global FX market. You need more than a digital asset to make it great for payments. And that combined with the regulatory clarity around XRP, I made it a no-brainer. My vision and what I am passionate about is changing the world of finance for the better. And there's a lot of other use cases around, digital assets, from meme coins to the casino, as you put it, and a lot of other things. Great. I'm not interested in that. What I'm interested in is the future of finance. And
there you have it right there. Now let's keep moving, because I got one more you want to listen to and know about. BNY Mellon, one of the oldest names in American finance and the parent company of BNY Mellon, has taken another significant step into blockchain technology with the launch of tokenized bank deposits for institutional clients. Well, yes, BNY Mellon is widely recognized as the oldest continuously operating bank in the United States. We're going all the way back to 1784, Alexander Hamilton days, ladies and gentlemen. That BNY Mellon. Yeah. Ripple Prime is a first mover in BNY Mellon tokenized deposit service. Why is this important? BNY Mellon CPO Caroline Weinberg explains that whether through DLT or next generation payments systems, Ripple, the true transformation lies in how networks interconnect. There we go.
Global capital markets are at an inflection point. We're seeing two massive trends. First is clients are requiring and demanding speed and certainty of settlement. They're also looking to move money faster around the world and leveraging new technologies to do so. Secondly, we're seeing the mainstreaming of digital assets. The combination of these two means that we have an entirely new financial system that's evolving and emerging. Here at BNY, we're very focused on traditional assets, but also digital assets. And the bridge between them is a massive unlock for our clients. Imagine you're the treasurer of a large corporation and you have offices in the US and also in Singapore. Wouldn't it be amazing if you could maintain all of your cash balances in one place and then move them instantaneously to make payroll or to do the transaction that you need in Singapore relative to New York? Instead of having bank accounts, revolvers, and credit facilities all over the world, imagine if you can use this always-on finance to move your money wherever you need to manage your business better.
Okay, let's just run over a few things here. Brad Garlinghouse is on Capitol Hill working as hard as he can, while maxis in this space are calling all of us retarded, right? Then let's tie this in, right? Then we get license from the FCA in UK, Financial Conduct Authority, right? Massive. Ripple's super excited about it. Now we're looking at understanding Ripple Prime as first mover, tying in the oldest bank in America, BNY Mellon. You know, these pieces, and then of course we go back to Ashish Burler, which I played his earlier clip there, where they're working to solve these gaps, right? And Evernorth certainly solves a gap moving on chain because they're going to provide the world's largest institutional XRP treasury. And he sees central banks.
See a world where, folks over time move from gold in other assets into digital assets in other cryptocurrencies, like even, for central banks, even for reserves.
See what I mean? Now, does that look like a global cooperation or a global consensus starting to take shape? It does if we get that markup in 5 days. I could tell you that, at least at my house. And here's Brad Garlinghouse himself. Shout out to you, Brad. Happy New Year. Happy belated New Year, he says to all of us. He said, I just hit send on Ripple's quarterly shareholder email. To say that 2025 and Q4 were successful for Ripple feels like saying Tom Brady was just a great quarterback. Hashtag the GOAT. Yeah. Our two major acquisitions, Ripple Prime and G Treasury, greatly accelerate and expand our ability to deliver on our vision, enabling the internet of value. XRP has been and will continue to be the heartbeat of that vision. with truly the most comprehensive licensing portfolio, and now today UK's EMI license added, we are poised to make 2026 even more consequential. Oh my goodness. Building and using crypto infrastructure, updating our global financial plumbing, and rethinking legacy systems. None of this happens overnight. At Ripple, we're going to continue taking the long view of what crypto-based assets like XRP and real USD can do, rather than chasing cycles and hype. Bring on 2026. We are firing on all cylinders. It's happening. I tell you what, I could run through a wall right now. I mean, that's incredible. Yeah, now let's talk about running through that wall of legislation in Washington, D.C. and getting that vote we need. Senate Ag Committee Chair John Boozman may delay January 15th vote on cryptocurrency legislation as bipartisan negotiations intensify. Well, here's what it says inside. If you go into here, it says basically the discussion aims to bridge partisan divides on regulatory oversight of the cryptocurrency markets. Cory Booker serves as the lead Democrat negotiator, struck an optimistic tone on Thursday interview, stating the negotiations were progressing constructively. He expressed confidence that both sides could reach an agreement. Where Boozman's possession reflected a delicate balance earlier this week, he publicly committed holding a vote regardless of whether bipartisan consensus emerged. Sarah LaJour, a spokesperson for the Senate, confirmed his dedication to advancing bipartisan legislation, noting that the official markup schedule remained unchanged. So it's a consideration, but it still remains unchanged at this point. And then Sandra Lutz, who is covering this under Decrypt Media, says, update here, Senate sources confirmed to me that senators from both parties are buying into banks' lobby demand for significant adjustments to Genius stablecoin yield rules. Boy, it's the banks behind it all, and they got their hand up the ass of everybody on the right and the left. So I don't want to hear anybody talking all this right aisle business, left aisle business. Both of them are shaking now because they got money in their pocket from the banks. Yeah, you could do that with the also Brooks proposal favored by Dems, or by requiring an OCC bank charter to offer yield. This could be more crypto industry friendly, but plenty in DeFi wouldn't like this at all. Second update. Senator Scott says is likely to file the House Clarity Act language as a placeholder tonight to tee up next week's markup. Then he will have until Monday night at midnight to get the actual text submitted. So you can see that, come Monday, you're going to have to see the actual text submitted that they're going to vote on. And that gives us all a chance to see it too, apparently. So third update, someone else on the crypto call with Senate staff this afternoon said, we need prayers. Comment was more lighthearted than doomsday. I guess we'll find out in a few days how necessary the praying was. That's exactly right. We're 5 days away. This is what Senator Tim Scott said. The chairman, he said, this legislation is about making America the crypto capital of the world. So the next generation of jobs and innovation is built here, not overseas. When we set clear rules, we give entrepreneurs the confidence to start companies, hire workers, and grow right here in the United States. We also make it harder for criminals and foreign adversaries to use new technology to rip off Americans or undermine our financial system. After months of serious bipartisan work, it's time to move this forward and deliver real results for the American people. Chairman Tim Scott. When you look at this line here. We also make it harder for criminals and foreign adversaries to use the new technology to rip off Americans or undermine our financial system. Systemically important designation from FSOC seems appropriate when you got sentences like that coming out of the mouth of a senator. Especially a chairman like Senator Tim Scott. I don't know where this goes, but I tell you, I do find it to be just as important as the senator has stated here. And I hope that we don't get a piece of legislation that is catering to the banks and the monopoly that they've had over civilization since their inception. It is time for the next organic, natural growth and evolution of the world of finance, which is the internet of value, and decentralizing money. But I tell you, this is an absolute power struggle and a war for the banks and the traditional financial industry. This is where we are, ladies and gentlemen, but we're days away of finding out exactly how bought and paid for everybody we voted for is on Capitol Hill. Not financial advice from me or anyone else.